Okay, so My Hero Academia fans, we got another huge update for the ending of the anime. With the ending approaching, it seems as though things is about to get, well, at the very least, we can assume grandiose based on this update that we got regarding the finale of the My Hero Academia anime, and an addition that was brought in. Black Clover fans, I know everybody's anticipating, oh my gosh, with the latest announcement of the climax, the super climax, is it about to end? How's it going to end? Well, we got another update regarding Black Clover and what's to come. Bleach fans, we got some seemingly good news for the future of the franchise, not just the end of the 1,000-Year Blood War anime, but potentially more to come, and so much more in this upcoming episode of Forever News, the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related, and we don't bore you, we get into it. Let's do it. Keep it 100, but trust me, homie, it's never whack. Laugh behind my back, but just remember, he who laughs last. If the love ain't real, I promise you can keep it. Tell me how that feels, baby, I don't need it. And of course, before we continue, hit that subscribe button and that bell to get all notifications when we drop these videos. I'll be able to inform you on what's going on in the world of anime and manga, and you'll be able to receive it. Okay, so My Hero Academia fans, in case you don't know, the anime is close to ending. We just finished up in the anime in the Japanese version, because the English dub is about a couple episodes out from the release of the Japanese version. Yeah, one of the biggest parts of the war has come to a close, and there's a few more episodes left. As of the recording of this video, there's like 3. By the time you're watching this, maybe there's like 2 episodes left. But of course, like we spoke in the last episode of Forever News, fans are wondering how it's all going to play out in terms of the fact that, are they going to adapt all of the material that is available via the manga? Because of course there was 430 chapters that was serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump, but then there were 2 chapters that came out afterward, one of which was compiled in the final volume of My Hero Academia. So if anything, that is definitely closer to being like, yo, that was intended to be within the ending, you know what I mean? Like if Horikoshi made sure that it was included in the final volume, it's not just something that was an afterthought. This was something that Horikoshi, even if, let's just say, the powers that be made him do what he did with 430, he wanted 431 to be, you know, a big part of the grand finale. But because of the amount of episodes left, a lot of people have been assuming, like, are they going to be able to adapt everything? Are they going to want to adapt everything? Because not only was there 431, there was also that extra bonus chapter in the spin-off series that gave extra events after the ending of the manga and even after the events of 431. But very recently, we got an update regarding there's going to be a bit more of My Hero Academia anime after the 11th episode, because again, this final season has been counted at 11 episodes. But according to this, it says My Hero Academia's final season will be getting a brand new OVA, which stands for Original Video Animation. It's the referred episode 12 that was initially included in the episode count weeks ago. So essentially, this was intended to be the final episode, but seemingly the powers that be decided that, yeah, we're going to do something special with this last episode. Now, the thing about it is a couple of different things. For starters, most of the fans that are watching the My Hero Academia anime, if this OVA is just kind of released later on and is not necessarily promoted or pushed forth, then a lot of people that are tuning into My Hero Academia's anime to see how it's all going to wrap up aren't really going to be aware that this is how the My Hero Academia story had finished. Because again, most people, they watch the anime and they go on about their day. Now, the thing about it is that there's supposed to be a special announcement from My Hero Academia at Weekly Shonen Jump's Jump Festa whole festivities that goes down, I want to say, on the 20th, about a week after the airing of episode 11. And a lot of people are speculating that within that whole celebration, they are going to announce what's going to be coming with this episode 12 and how it's going to be released. Honestly, it makes the most sense in my opinion, seeing as how they've been doing those whole, you know, putting some stuff in theaters or whatnot. And I want to say they've done it already before with an OVA of putting My Hero OVA in theaters, to put this episode 12 in theaters and do it also in a timely manner. Essentially, they could do what they've done with Demon Slayer in the past, as far as like packaging a couple of the final episodes of My Hero Academia's anime and put it with this OVA that is going to be the true and final conclusion to the My Hero Academia story. But also, I guess it makes a lot of people wonder, how are they going to divvy up the final chapters into these episodes? Because with the final 3 episodes as it stands right now, there's roughly about 9 chapters, including those 2 chapters of 431 and the bonus chapter, to be divvied up into those episodes. But with this extra episode, they could very well go a couple of different routes. It could very well be that the anime itself just goes up to 430, and then this bonus episode is going to include the events of 431 in that bonus chapter. They could include everything, considering the fact that, again, 431 was Horikoshi's intended finale. They could put all of that in the TV anime, and that special could essentially be that bonus chapter that showcases, well, I don't really want to get into spoilers, but yeah, if you know about Deku and the Billboard charts, yeah, it's pretty big. But regardless of what, as long as they make sure to put this My Hero Academia anime OVA out globally, that it's accessible to everybody and it's not just like a quaint relic that only a select amount of fans get their hands on, then more than likely all of the My Hero Academia manga story will be in one way or another adapted into anime format. It's just a matter of how they're going to do it at this point. Is the anime going to go straight all the way through 430 or 431, or is 431 and the special chapter going to be included in this final OVA? And I guess there's also that rare chance that they adapt everything, including the bonus chapter, into these last few episodes, and this OVA is going to be something new entirely. Although I got to imagine they're going to save brand new content that hasn't been done before in the manga or whatnot for like a grandiose film at some given point. But yeah, for those that were worried whether or not these chapters were going to be adapted in the anime, it's looking more and more likely that all of 430, 431, and even this bonus chapter in some form or another will be coming out in anime version. It's just a matter of how they're going to do this and how they're going to release it. And I think for the most part, the higher ups know that, yeah, My Hero Academia is a massive, success, that it would be somewhat wasteful to not make sure to adapt everything. But only time will tell. Let me know how you guys think it's going to play out. Is it going to be 430, 431 being adapted in the anime? How are they going to do this thing? Then, for those that are curious, the top 10 most selling manga of 2025 has finally come out. The results are in, which placed where, and we're going to just briefly go through it because some of these manga I'm not too familiar with, but for the most part, I was kind of surprised at a couple of these placings, because at number 9 is My Hero Academia, a series that I thought was not going to be in the top selling manga, considering the fact that by 2025's releases, it wouldn't have a new volume. But because the way they structure this thing, I think it's November to November, and the final volume of My Hero, and this is of course all in Japan, came out in like November or December of last year, that technically counted, and it was more than enough to get My Hero Academia in the top 10 at number 9 with over 2 million sales, which again, massive win, and another demonstration of, like, I'm sure Shueisha and Shonen Jump understand the value of My Hero, hence why, going back to the previous story, they're probably going to do something major with My Hero Academia moving forward. They're probably still going to release more films, and that OVA, however they're going to divvy it up, is going to be pushed in a major way, because number 9 with 1 volume and no brand new chapters of the, actual series coming out in 2025, that's one of the biggest wins you could possibly get. Then going up the list, there's Apothecary Diaries, there's Sakamoto Days, Blue Box, Kingdom still as always. Then you got Blue Lock at number 4 with over 3 million. That is another major win. And number 3, Don 3.5. And then the top 2, which was, okay, wow, we're here. Jujutsu Kaisen, almost 4 million, 3.9, and One Piece topping it, regaining its crown after quite some time with 4.2 million. And Jujutsu Kaisen mainly got those sales because I want to say it was 2 volumes that were released in like November, December time, if I'm not mistaken. So that's probably what got enough for Jujutsu Kaisen to go there. And One Piece regaining the crown, I mean, I could only imagine if there was more One Piece that was released, what these sales would be like. It would probably be 6, 7, 8 million. So One Piece still got it, no matter how much people want to say it's been going on for so long. Oh my gosh, this is why it's going on for so long. So big ups to Eiichiro Oda as always. And yeah, this top 10, it's a pretty solid list for the most part, but it's also a demonstration that the next generation of manga is going to be incoming. And yeah, a lot of these slots and this whole list is going to be changed for sure by next year, unless like back catalog My Hero and Jujutsu Kaisen is like boosted up tremendously, which that's a possibility. More than likely, this list next year is going to be with a lot of the more newcomers, so to speak. But we just gotta wait and see. Then for Black Clover fans, we spoke in the last episode of Forever News that there was going to be the super climax. Essentially, the manga has entered what seems to be like the final stage of the story or whatnot. And if you've been, following it at all, then you would know that the manga has been in its final battle for some time, and going to super climax historically means that, yeah, this manga is about to end any time now. And we got an update that apparently Black Clover will be publishing 3 new chapters and receive the lead color page and reach its super climax in Jump Giga 2026 winter, and that issue will be released January 5th, 2026. So top of the year, very first week of 2026, Black Clover will have more chapters, which could very well lead to the finale. Considering they're not hyping that this is the finale and this is the final issue of Black Clover chapters, there's probably going to be one more. I gotta imagine that will probably be it. Maybe 2 or 3 more chapters in the next volume or the next issue of Jump Giga, and then it'll wrap up the story, because again, they've been, hyping it up for so long. Like, like, yo, Black Clover's climax, you know, now it's entering the super climax with this next issue. There's probably going to be, if this isn't the finale, and considering they're not pumping it up as like, no, this is the final issue with Black Clover chapters, probably one more. So fans of Black Clover rejoice that there's still seemingly going to be more. I mean, that's in my opinion. It could very well go a different direction at the last second. Tabata could be like, no, I'm done right now. So you never know, but here we go. Bleach fans, we got some very interesting news for the future of Bleach. Most people are anticipating that Bleach is about to end. You know, with the 1,000-Year Blood War final core of the anime, this is supposed to be the grand finale. This is supposed to be it, so to speak. However, based on this update, there could be more Bleach to come. We do know that there's the No Breaths from Hell chapter that still needs a conclusion, another chapter or maybe even two. But also there's the light novels, and there's a lot more that can be done with Bleach anime-wise and in general with the IP moving forward. Because it says here, Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War arc may not be the end after all. 2026 will be an exciting year for Bleach fans since the anime is finally about to fully adapt the manga. According to a recent update, Part 4 may not be the end of the anime after all. Bleach just created an official YouTube channel to promote the anime's final part, even though it's going to have a short run as usual. But that's not the big enchilada about it. Because the official Twitter account of the anime confirms there will be more content in the future. This could mean that the anime plans to keep uploading new clips on the YouTube channel, or simply states that the new content is regarding future anime projects. Additionally, many fans on Twitter claim that the Bleach website has been licensed until 2031, which is yet another clear hint that the studio has major plans for the franchise. While the main story will end in the upcoming part, the studio can work on a number of projects, including an adaptation of the one-shot that the manga creator Tite Kubo released after the main story's ending. Additionally, there's always an option for the anime remake, which fans have been desperately hoping for, or Puro could work on original movies as well. Additionally, Bleach has 3 official novels that expand the manga story, and fans will love to see them animated one of these days. It also helps that Kubo has been closely working with the animation studio for the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, so there's a possibility he will continue collaborating with them if the studio decides to release more anime projects. As far as the Bleach anime remake goes, I think that's going to be a ways off. Again, my opinion, because they also teased a while back, remember, a Naruto, you know, 20th celebration with like all those redone clips, and a lot of people were like, oh, they're gonna do a remake of Naruto, and that has yet to come to fruition. Bleach, they did something similar, and that was while after the original, you know, Naruto one. So more than likely, if it does happen, it'll be a ways out. But the big news about it all is that up to 2031, they got that on the website. So it very well could be that there's more Bleach to come. And honestly, I'm sure the fandom would love it, as long as they make sure to faithfully adapt the finale of Bleach, do it properly. And if Kubo decides to do more with the Hell arc and whatever else he has in store, then yeah, there could definitely be more Bleach. And Studio Puro has seen every time, like, you know, the TV Tokyo fiscal year reports come out, Bleach is up there, Bleach is in there, Bleach is a moneymaker, Bleach is one of the most iconic anime out. It was a part of the big 3, and still to this day is very much so more relevant than ever. So I'm not gonna say it's definitive that there's more coming after the 1,000-Year Blood War, but there's a high probability that at the very least a movie or 2 will come, if not more. I mean, come on, we've seen what's been going on in theaters lately with Demon Slayer and stuff like that. You telling me Bleach won't make at least 100 mil in theaters? Exactly. And shout outs to Kubo. Quick update for the Boruto franchise. Apparently, May 2026 will be officially the quote-unquote 10th year anniversary for the Boruto. I want to say it's the manga, the original manga, which that's a crazy feat in and of itself, considering also the fact that, and I guess it's because of the revamp with Two Blue Vortex, that Boruto feels like it just started. I know it's kind of crazy, because then at the same time you could think like, but wait, Boruto was around for quite some time, but it's kind of almost like a rebirth, so to speak, has been with Boruto, because honestly, when I think of Boruto, I don't think of it as like, oh yeah, there's a 10th anniversary coming up. Like, I think of it as, well, I guess since Two Blue Vortex started, more or less. But with that being said, them having this anniversary with Shueisha, you never know what they could do. They could just kind of do some sort of sticker collection, or they could do an OVA, or this very well could be what they've been waiting for the anime return, although they could very well wait for the 10th anniversary of the anime, which would be the following year. So who knows, but May is going to be a big month. And I guess I want to give major props to Ikamoto, that's been working on this for quite some time as well. Demon Slayer fans, yes, Demon Slayer has done something crazy again at the box office. I know. Because in case you don't know, Demon Slayer has been just absolutely doing incredible, unheard numbers in the box office. And they did something major again, because Demon Slayer cast celebrates Infinity Castle's record-breaking success as another milestone topples. The first installment of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle has been breaking one record after another as the story enters its final phase. The Infinity Castle arc will be adapted into a trilogy film as updates about the upcoming parts remain scarce. On the other hand, part 1 just crossed the 100 billion yen milestone across the globe, the first Japanese film to ever do so. It even surpassed the overall box office records of several Hollywood hits, including all of the Marvel and DC films that were released this year. And that's no shade to any of them because some of those movies are great. I'm just reporting what it is. The series has set a new standard for the upcoming anime film, which, to be honest, will be difficult to match because the film is still showing in theaters even months after its premiere, and its popularity hasn't diminished a bit. This also means that the film won't be added to any streaming platforms this year, and if I'm not mistaken, there was an update that even came after this that globally it's at like over $700 million. They're probably trying their very hardest to push this to hit that billion mark. I mean, it's already, you know, set that this is one of the biggest things ever created in anime history, but hitting that billion mark, I got to imagine the budgets go up, everything goes up, the investors get even more enthusiastic, and yet again it sets another precedence of what anime means to the world. Because for so long people looked at anime a certain way, people kind of relegated it to, oh, it's those action cartoon things, where we're at now. This is a demonstration that the world is ready for anime to be what it has become, and that's mainstream and people talking about it, and not just like, you know, in back alleys like, yo, did you hear? Like, it's actually something that everybody can embrace and enjoy and love. So we'll see how things go. I know it's coming out in a couple other markets globally as well, but regardless of what, a billion yen globally is something just phenomenal. And if it hits that $1 billion mark, you best believe that Demon Slayer fans are never going to stop talking about Demon Slayer ever. Not that they are now, because again, it is, you know, up there. Like, 2 highest grossing Japanese films of all time are Demon Slayer. Okay, and lastly, I just wanted to share a quick update on Solo Leveling, because apparently Solo Leveling is the first anime to reach 900,000 ratings on Crunchyroll. Essentially, it's record breaking on how many people decided to go out their way to say their opinion, give their thoughts, give their love or dislike for that matter, because, you know, at the end of the day, it gotta balance out some way, of Solo Leveling, which even further adds to the discussion and further promotes Solo Leveling. And ultimately, this is looking more and more good for Solo Leveling when that film comes out, for the investors to promote it. The more anime goes up, like what we just spoke about with Demon Slayer, the more chances for stuff like this that is extremely talked about, like people are just really excited about this thing. This could very well be the catalyst, so to speak, for a Solo Leveling film to break 100, 200, 300 million. For a Solo Leveling film to be, you know, something that we've never seen as well. It got a whole region on its back that's really been hoping for a chance to really have their story spoken. It's loved by many, it's talked about by even more, and in general, it seems like Solo Leveling is continuing to go up because this is another big deal. Like, Solo Leveling is so controversial that in one way or another, people can't help but to continue to talk about it and give their opinions. So we'll see what this does for the future, but I can only imagine that Solo Leveling, the movie, is going to do immensely well. So after this one, I'm Tim. As always, people, have an awesome day. Peace in. I guess I just gotta speak my mind, cause if I don't speak up now, then I'll be stuck with a lion. No, that's not what I'm about. No, I'm not. I said give me props, only true love over here. Keep the ops. I don't walk through God's rain. Keep it sacred, be meaning keep the fair weathers far away from me.